a hustle. That's their entire perspective, to get countries hooked on it. It's not really about developing anything. As long as they can show some aspect of progress that they can, then publicize, that's really all they need to justify what their position is in the country. But there's no mention of what the long-term effects are. There's no mention of how the majority of the population doesn't get anything from these loans. Most of the time, what they're really used as is the capital for investment in foreign firms. So what you really did was give me money so I could give it back to a subsidiary company of yours to build some shit that's overpriced in my country. But how the fuck does it cost more to do something out here than it does out there when manual labor literally costs a tenth of what it normally would?
We have a higher standard of living here to a certain extent.
Not only that, but
prices are more expensive here. Their people work for less and they can buy stuff for less.
Realistically, that's exactly what it is.
Have you ever thought about running for anything?
No.
For what?
Anything, I don't know. Mayor of Harlem or something, I don't know.
Harlem doesn't have a mayor. You from New York?
Long Island.
Okay. Harlem has no mayor. Harlem has like a councilman here and there. But I don't know. I mean,
You have a lot of
once you get like involved in politics, I think that you have to rely on political contributions, which is kind of what's wrong with the system.
Yeah, you get swallowed.
A democracy means what? The Greek word for the rule of the people, but it also means the rule of the mass of the people. English is a very barbarian language. It's a combination of Scandinavian and Germanic. It's the most basic form of communication you can probably find. When you delve into older languages like Hebrew, Arabic, Greek, even derivatives of Latin, the words mean so many different things, but in English they just mean, you have to come up with like a double entendre or a metaphor for it to seem interesting. It gives it a poetry that the basic language didn't have before. So when you look at it in Greek, democracy is not just significant and meaning of rule of the people, but a rule of the mob of the people. You can control the mob, you can control the mob mentality. And that's really what America's based on now. Trying to control the mob mentality of people. Trying to be the populist for a specific demographic. Because everyone's not going to vote. So you can focus on voting blocks that you can bring to you by fulfilling the needs of special interests. Whether it's Cubans, whether it's we're for Israel, whether it's we're for or against immigration, whether we seem tough on crime or we're loose on it. That's what politicians try to do. And at the end of the day, a system of a republic isn't really like a new and innovative idea that we've come up with. It's 2,000 years old. Older than that.
Romans did it.
Right, exactly. And what was the whole point? To have a group of people that are represented by one individual, which just makes it easier to corrupt someone because you don't need to corrupt everybody now. Everybody needs to get paid. Just 1,000 people in the country need to be glazed over. And then they forget that their responsibilities are dependent on those people and more on the people that are keeping them in power. It's just a simple solution to it. And once you look at it from that perspective, you think, all right, the minute that I get involved in this, I'm going to be the most cynical bastard that's there. So would I run for a term in office? Yeah, sure. To piss people off enough as I possibly could. Why not?
Well, that's the point, maybe that